Welcome in, there it is, to the latest edition of Extra Time. Shaka Hislop with us in the studio, Gab Marcotti bobbing along as Nedum. What are you up to this weekend, Nedum?
I've got a charity football game tomorrow, and then Sunday just a little bit of work, but nothing too major, yeah?
Oh, that's all right. And what about you, Gab? Which game are you going to, if any?
I'm not. I'll be in front of. I'll be in front of the television.
Oh, watching anything? What, Eurovision? What are you going to watch? Anything exciting?
I'm extremely excited for Eurovision, of course. Saturday night from Malmo. I'll be mostly watching football. Yeah.
Oh, you sound very excited by that.
And it's Mother's Day on Sunday.
It is Mother's Day on Sunday, yes. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to everybody.
So, Dan, they have different Mother's Day all over the world, as you may know. Here in England, Mother's Day is in March, and it's not actually called Mother's Day. It's called Mothering Sunday. And so in my household, we have to celebrate both of them. And Italian Mother's Day, by the way, is the same day as American Mother's Day, so that bit is easy.
Nedum looked absolutely fascinated by everything you just said, Gab. For Nedum, do you think early kickoff against Fulham tomorrow will affect Manchester City in any way?
I think if they had a game midweek, yes, but because they've had a week to prepare, I'm going to say no. I think they'll be well rested, as opposed to years gone by where they've had like a Champions League semi-final midweek type thing. So I don't think it'll affect them in the way that it would have done earlier in the season. No.
Shaka, Manchester United players are playing like they're in their notice period. So how do you expect Ten Hag to get the best out of players like Eriksen, Wan-Bissaka, Casemiro, who've one foot out of the club already?
He's not got the best out of them all season long. So I'm not expecting him to get the best out of them. No, not because they're on their way out, but because he hasn't done so all season long.
This is a goalkeeping question I'm going to ask you, Shaka.
Okay. Why you introduce it like that?
Well, because Gab might think, well, why I'm getting a question? I can't ask Gab this question because you're the goalkeeper and Gab isn't. Okay. Does it make sense for Carlo Ancelotti to drop Lunin for Courtois in the Champions League final? Shaka, how does it feel as a goalkeeper to be dropped the way when you feel it's your time and you're performing very well?
I don't think it makes sense. Especially, I'm going to freely assume that Courtois, though he's back training, probably doesn't get significant minutes between now and the end of the season. So it doesn't make sense in that regard. And just from a mentality perspective, given the run that Lunin has been a part of, again, I don't leave him out. Not for the Champions League final. I stand by. I think Lunin is a very talented goalkeeper. He's not a Thibaut Courtois, but he's served Real Madrid wonderfully well, and I think he's earned his spot in the final.
Who would you prefer behind you, Nedum?
I probably have to say the more experienced keeper in Courtois, to be honest. But I think Shaka's right. Lunin's done very, very well. So as a consequence, it's more of like an embarrassment of riches as opposed to a real hindrance. Lunin helped them get there, so I'm sure he's deserving of playing in the final as well.
For Gab, do you see Inter running away with Serie A next year? They seem so far ahead. Who do you see as the most potent threat to them next year? What is the biggest hole that needs to be filled for Juventus or Milan to challenge? Oh, it's a lot of questions within a question.
A lot of questions in one. Will they run away with it next year? No, I don't think so. I think there's a good chance they'll win it. I don't think that it's going to be like this season. Also, because I wouldn't be surprised if, given their financial situation, that debt coming due, looks like they're going to refinance it. But still, every time you refinance something, interest rates tend to creep up, and the people who lend you the money want guarantees that you're going to balance the books. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they have to sacrifice one piece, maybe two pieces, and then find the solutions to get around, just like they did last year. Biggest challenger, I actually like the players that Milan have accumulated. I'm not sure why they're so big on sacking Stefano Pioli, if indeed they do end up sacking him. But I think there's a lot of talent there. And biggest hole, I think Milan could probably, Milan's going to need a reliable center forward because Olivier Giroud is moving on. I think that's the obvious one. I have more faith in the defenders, although they could maybe also use a little bit of help in midfield. For Juve, goodness me, where do you start? I mean, again, I think they're going to probably have to shift some players too. The obvious place for me would probably be in midfield or in central defense, just because you don't know what. So Pogba's not going to come back for a while. You don't know what Fagioli's going to be like when his ban ends and whether he can contribute.
Final question is for you, Gab. Has the modern style of play and the expectations of big clubs left some accomplished managers wanting? Benitez, Conte, Mourinho, Lopetegui. Has the game passed them by, or do you still expect something from any of them?
Well, I mean, I think Lopetegui's style is different from the others. So I think you need to take that into account. I don't think Conte's issue is necessarily the style that he plays, because he's adapted. I think his issues and the reason why maybe he's finding it difficult to get a job is that he's seen as somebody who can be difficult to work with, somebody who wants a lot of resources, somebody who's just often a bundle of nerves, right, around a club. Mourinho's a different issue in the sense that he certainly delivered in terms of cup competitions and getting to finals. The question again, personal relations. I think Benitez, what happened this year at Celta was a big blow to him, because I thought they put together a squad to finish comfortably mid-table, maybe even think of Europe, and it just didn't work out for him. Had some fallings out with some players as well, and that's the kind of thing that tends to stick.
Lovely jubbly. Thank you very much. Whatever you're doing this weekend, have a lovely time. We will be here, of course, throughout to keep you up to date with everything that's going on in this wonderful sporting world. Be sure... Are you here tomorrow, Shane?
No, not tomorrow, Dan.
No?
I'm here on Mothering Sunday.
Are you on Mothering Sunday, are we?
I'll be here.
Oh, Mothering Sunday. What a time.